At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
I'm going to go back to the 60s and steal Austin Powers' mojo.
All right, now listen. We've got a blind date with Destiny. And it looks like she's ordered the lobster.
Now, we'll reactivate human brain cells as stored in the full brain of the shark.
I'm just amazed that we've come so far so fast without genetic tampering.
I told you she'd be a distraction.
She's not a distraction. It's nice having her on board. She's a breath of fresh ass.
It's not like I'm a lesbian or anything. I'm attracted to the person. It's just that all the people I've ever been attracted to happen to be girls.
Okay. I'll tell you everything. And you tell me everything. And maybe we can get through all the piss and shit and lies that kill other people.
Well, I'm sorry, Wendy, but I just don't trust anything that bleeds for 5 days and doesn't die.
I see dead people.
Not many men know what their life's worth. I do. 70 grand. That's what they took from me. And that's what I was gonna get back.
So, these carrots?
Have been murdered, yes.
Murdered? Those poor old carrots, it's beastly.
You don't hear the word no very often, do you?
I hear it all the time, and it's more like, no, please, no, no.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Yeah, well, at least your name isn't Michael Bolton.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that name.
There was nothing wrong with it until I was about 12 years old, and that no-talent ass clown became famous and started winning Grammys.
Well, why don't you just go by Mike instead of Michael?
No way. Why should I change? He's the one who sucks.
Oh, hey, hang on a second, guys. I'm going to save my Sonic Adventure on my VMU before we get started on our next awesome podcast. Get it, guys? That was 1999, the year Sega Dreamcast was released.
Can we wait a minute? Because I still got to finish this StarCraft Brood War game that I got going.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
I have to play it for 20 minutes before I can be done. So
the good news is with my Sega VMU is I can pull the memory card out and play a mini game from Sonic Adventure. What was the name of the little bird things in Sonic Adventure? Chicolees, something like that.
Chocobos and
Chocobos.
That's
what it is.
Chocobos
Chocobo.
Is Final Fantasy. But it's something like that. Anyways, that was my lame attempt to pretend like we're in 1999.
Whoa, guys, what do you think's going to happen when Y2K hits?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, we should watch Enemy of State and find out.
Oh, man, Enemy of the State is great.
Hold on, guys.
Is that movie 1999?
No.
Is that a wormhole forming in your wall, Ryan? Are we about to time travel to 1999?
Whoa! Anywho, welcome to a very special edition of Real Nerds. I am Ryan. To my left,
Brad.
To my right,
James Hart.
And we thought we'd have fun today as a little bonus episode. This is a DVD extra. This is a all-access Blu-ray special edition.
Yeah,
Real Nerds.
Picture in picture.
Picture in picture.
You can
maximum Real Nerd mode.
It's audio in audio. You can hear us while we're talking about this.
You can. Dude, that's amazing.
I know.
So James thought that 1999 had a great year. Was it your idea? Or it was James' idea?
It was my idea to do top 10s
and you picked
of past years, and James agreed that 1999 would be a good year to top 10.
I think it's accredited to a video that was posted on screened.com that was basically like, hey, 1999 was a really good year for movies. And then when I watched it, I was like, no way, all those movies were in the same year. And so I knew, like, that would be a good one. Especially because when we started talking about this, I thought we needed to pick a year that was a little bit more recent so that it was a year that we were all actually going to movies and stuff like that. Originally, we were talking, like, 1985, but you guys would be 5 years old and I would be -2 years old. So it's a little bit less interesting.
Hey, I'd been 4. Come on, give me some credit.
Like, a lot of these movies we will have actually seen in theaters, which,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was a senior in high school, so
My junior year, and I agree. It was looking back on it, it was a fantastic year for movies.
It was. So
Absolutely.
we thought it'd be fun to do a list of our 10 favorite movies from there, each of us. Now, we're not going to have any trailers here because Brad's lazy and he didn't want to find the trailers from 1999.
Dude, what the fuck was that?
I don't think people
You
really
tried
wanna...
finding a 12-year-old trailer.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening.
Oh, I can find that. It might be good. Maybe we should put the top 3, like all our 3 number ones.
Yeah, I could probably find a trailer for The Matrix, but not a trailer for like October Sky.
What makes you think that either of those movies are going to be our number 1 picks?
Oh, I was just saying any movies that could be like any movies from 1999. Like,
Yeah,
I can't even find trailers for 2004.
This is true. Well, we'll see.
Anyways, before we start, I thought I'd do something kind of fun and we'll go back in time. The average price for a movie ticket in 1999, an adult ticket. Me and Brad were students. It was $5.25 for students. An adult ticket, $7. Now it is $10.50 to go see a movie.
Honestly, that makes me feel better about the $10.50 for some reason because it feels like not as big of a difference as it.
Yeah,
it should be a big deal.
You know what I noticed is they kind of go up by like 25 cents every year. Like
yeah,
25, 50 cents.
Yeah,
roughly.
Which, I mean, when they get up to $15 a ticket, which sometimes they are now, when
Yeah.
you're getting all the special stuff, but if, a regular movie were $15, that would be pretty crazy.
I feel like it's held steady for like the past 4 years because of the 3D prices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they're
it's
able
been-
to charge
it's been
15
sort
for
of 10.
that.
Yeah.
That the regular adult prices kind of held because it was like in 2000 from like 1999 to 2005 it was pretty frequent that you go in and the price would change.
Yeah, I agree.
So
and then also I did a little thing where I was looking at theater count, and just for an example, the movie that had the highest theater count or screen count in 1999 was Austin Powers and The Spy Who Shagged Me, and it was 3,300
Wow.
screens. And you would think it would be like Phantom Menace or something, but Phantom Menace
Yeah.
only played on like 2,900. So that it did so much money is even more impressive.
Yeah.
But to put that in comparison, Journey 2 is playing on 3,500. So that's how many more movie theaters there are and how much more accessible it is to see a movie. I mean, my father told me when he went and saw Jaws, like he would wait in line for hours because they had like 4 showings at in Cherry Creek or something. I forget where he said it was, but you sit there, and if you wanted to see the 5 o'clock showing, you'd have to wait in line for all the people who wanted to see the 2 o'clock showing.
Yeah.
And that's why, it's really easy to see a movie now. Movies hardly ever sell out. Even something like a big event, Harry Potter, when I went at 12:01, they had, it on 10 screens.
Yeah.
It's
in the same theater.
In the same theater, so it's way different now. Because I even remember, I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but I do have a fun memory from the Phantom Menace, and I'll share it with you when we get there.
Oh.
Because I'm sure you guys probably put it on there.
We're going to get to the Phantom Menace. Anyway.
Yeah, anyways, so who wanted to start our favorite movies from 1999?
Do you not want to start?
I mean, I can. Do you want me to start?
It's
Because
your show.
I've been talking so much.
hey, make sure you're like talking to the mic directly. Like when you turn your head like this, it's drastically different.
Fuck, Brad.
Both of you.
Hey, we're learning.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Just saying.
Here, I'm going to hold it like this. Does it sound different there?
I'm going to hold it like I'm the ringleader in a
In
That's
real
really
steel.
bad.
yeah.
It's
Yeah. Hanging
Anyways,
from the ceiling.
Ryan's number 10 movie from 1999 is a Warner Brothers picture starring Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh.
It is Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, dang it.
wow. Okay.
I have a Samuel L. Jackson movie on my list, but it is not. Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. Never mind.
You don't?
No, I just had a racist moment. I confused 2 different black guys. I'm sorry. I'm a bad person.
The reason I picked...
Really?
Because I actually thought it was... I still think to this day it's kind of a fun movie to watch.
Well, tell us why.
I guess that's true.
Well, I mean, it's not a smart movie.
It's a story about smart
sharks.
sharks.
It's a story about super smart sharks, and that this. I always thought the girl in there, Saffron Burrows, it was really hot, and
British,
totally British, and so she plays a scientist who she's trying to develop a cure for Alzheimer's. So she's sticking brain something into sharks to make them smarter.
Brain steroids.
Yeah, but it has a reverse effect where they're so smart when something goes wrong that they just... It's like Jaws on steroids and not as good, but I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it has one of the best character deaths in it. When Samuel L. Jackson dies in
Oh,
that
yeah,
movie,
that's great.
Spoilers. But when he dies in that movie, it is great. It is really great.
It is. And, again, we say this every time we do, like, these lists, but it's not movies that, are going to win awards, but it's movies, I still watch Deep Blue Sea, and I still think it's a cool movie, but...
And that movie has LL Cool J in it.
Yeah, that's not a cool part.
No,
the
it's not.
The only part of the movie I don't like is I don't like LL Cool J, and I don't like his parrot. So when the parrot gets eaten, I'm, like, kind of happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it also has Thomas Jane. He's really good in it.
Oh, yeah, that's
And,
right. I forgot. That's who that is.
Yeah, and I think the effects actually are pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't hate that movie. I enjoy watching it, but I don't think it's good.
Yeah, whatever.
I've never seen it, so I can't.
No,
make
wait,
any
really?
comments.
Dude, you got to see that movie.
You should.
Maybe it is good.
Don't let my...
Now that it's on someone's top 10 list, I'll have to check it out.
It's funny because I kept it on a list of like real bad movies that came out that year because there are some pretty interesting bad movies.
There are.
One of the other ones that was on that list, because I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be on either of your lists, was Lake Placid, which is a similarly bad like monster fish.
I'm surprised that
movie
hasn't caught on again because Betty White is in it, and she feeds the alligator.
Oh, yeah. That's
right. Is it a crocodile or alligator?
It's an alligator.
Alligator.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my number 10, Deep Blue Sea.
Very cool.
Saffron Burrows, she's pretty hot. You should see it. She strips down to her underwear to keep a shark. She puts her wetsuit in the water, and she electrocutes the shark. It's pretty sweet.
It's a bad...
It really is.
They're obviously just trying to get her clothes off.
And hey, that's why I love it.
Brad?
All right. My number 10 is South Park. Bigger, longer, and uncut.
Oh, wow.
That's a good movie.
Mine's way higher up there.
Yeah, mine's up higher up there, too, but
yeah, that movie's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually, when I saw it in the theater, I wasn't that crazy about it. And for some reason, even though... Like, I was surprised, like, how, like, the show is gross and, like, offensive already.
Yeah.
And somehow, I was younger, so it took it to the next level, and it's really kind of shocking.
Oh, yeah.
But I've grown to appreciate it more and more.
It took me a long time to be able to watch the scene where Saddam Hussein and the devil are in bed together, and he whips out the dildo. It took a long time for me to be able to, like, not cringe and feel bad about watching that scene, and it took even longer for me to start laughing at it. Like, yeah, that movie goes pretty far. But at the same time, the opening scene of that movie is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that there is this opening scene that
won an Oscar.
That is, like, it's offensive... And at the same time, so that it drives people out of the theater, and at the same time is making fun of the people who are leaving the theater because the movie is offensive. Yeah. It's just unbelievable. Those guys are too smart.
I love the little British character in there, Damien.
Yeah.
When the boys go see him, and they say, "Dude, why are you grounded?" And he says, "Why? Because God hates me, and I call him a cocksucking faggot. So my mom, she grounds me." Stuff like that is just. I always remember the. Do you remember the teaser trailer for it?
No.
By any chance? It was, it had like the Matrix things come down, and it said, cutting edge special effects, amazing 3D visuals, and then it was like Cartman in 3D, and then it cut away to Cartman being, his normal cutout paper thing. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Well, do you know they use the same technology to make South Park that they used to make Jurassic Park? Like, I heard somebody call it once that it was like, it's like they're using, bulldozers to build a sandcastle. Like, they use some pretty advanced technology to make that show.
Oh, I believe it. I watched that documentary about it. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
6 Days to Air.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one. So now it's up to me.
It is up to you.
All right. This is the one pick on this list that you guys are really going to hate.
Okay.
My number 10 is Notting Hill, which is, like...
Hey, Hugh Grant, what are you doing? Oh, blimey, I'm in the back of a car fucking a hooker who looks like a transvestite Michael Jackson.
This is from before that happened, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know.
Maybe that was
it probably was before. I don't remember.
Anyway, either way, this movie is great. This is one of the last, like, great Julia Roberts movies that I can think of. Like, I don't know what she made after this that I really loved. I mean, she won an Oscar after this, I believe.
Yeah,
Wasn't Aaron Brockovich after this?
Aaron Brockovich, yeah. It was 2005, I think. Yeah.
Was it that late?
Yeah.
Well, no.
2002? Oh.
Anyway.
I've never seen it. I don't give a shit.
Oh. Still, a really good, like, I think there is a shortage of actually good romantic comedies. We talked
I
about
agree.
one last year because
I agree.
Crazy Stupid Love is one of them. And this movie has, it's not just this simple little love story. It has some really touching, kind of heartbreaking moments. There's a scene where he brings her to his brother's house and they have dinner together. That it's an amazingly written scene that transcends just being some silly romantic comedy. It's really good. So if you haven't seen that movie, which
I haven't, and you know why I haven't seen it? Because Hugh Grant's walking, like the poster of it, he's walking, and there's this huge picture of Julia Roberts. What's that about?
Because she plays herself in the movie.
She does?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
The actual story of the movie is she plays Anna Scott, who is basically the Julia Roberts of the time, and she comes into his bookstore and they fall in love.
Oh, cute.
It's good.
You know what? I'll watch it. Do you own it?
No.
Well, I'm not going to watch it unless I can get it for free.
All right.
But hey, it's okay to always have wild cards. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's better than Deep Blue Sea, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Cool. So my next one is, I don't know how many people have seen this, but it's really brilliant. It's Election with Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick.
I still haven't seen it.
It's really funny. It's a really dark comedy. Matthew Broderick plays a teacher, and he's in charge of the student council presidential race. And Reese Witherspoon plays the most popular girl in school, and everybody loves her. And then this dark horse comes in, and he rigs the election so she loses, and then it just spirals out of control. It's a really dark comedy, and Matthew Broderick is amazing in it.
Cool.
And it's hard for me to describe if you guys haven't seen it, but you should see it. It's really good.
Yeah, it's been on my list for a long time.
And yeah, I mean it's I think it's Alexander Payne.
Oh,
did
yes.
that one too.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, you should see it because it's cool seeing Matthew Broderick kind of play this burnt out teacher, and Reese Witherspoon plays herself, but like a really bubbly version, and he fucking hates her for it. And I think he actually says that line in it because she's the one scene I'll always remember. I don't remember exactly what he says, but he's sitting at his desk, and Reese Witherspoon kind of goes by his classroom door, and she's all like bubbly and smiling, and she jumps up, and the camera freezes, and he says something to the effect, "I fucking hate that girl," and then it comes back down. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And Matthew Broderick's really good. He should be in more movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Though he's a weird one now because now I look at him and he looks like a little kid who's really old.
Yeah, and everyone made a big deal about his Super Bowl commercial. I didn't think it was that good.
I didn't think it was either. Remember he was in a movie once? Yay.
With Ferris Bueller. Yay. Oh, cool.
Should talk about Inspector Gadget, which came out the same year.
Oh, gosh, that was.
Starring Matthew Broderick.
That movie made me sad. I was a huge Inspector Gadget fan,
know.
and that movie was not good.
I love the theme song to Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
And Claw.
I'll get you, Gadget.
Yeah.
I'll get you
next time, Gadget. Next time. And you only saw his hand.
Yeah.
That's where I learned to hate cats.
But instead in the movie, you saw Rupert Everett the whole time.
Oh, really? They show who Claw is?
Oh, dude, yeah. Wait, you haven't seen the movie? Oh, yeah. No, you see how Claw gets his claw.
Bummer.
I know, it's dumb, and it's the worst. It's not even a claw. It's like
and it's
a clamp.
Rupert Everett. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's Rupert Everett, and it's a clamp. It's like when you were a kid. You ever get one of those grabbers, when you were at the zoo?
Yeah.
It's like one of those
with a tiger head.
No, not the ones with the tiger head. The ones that are supposed to be like a
just
robot.
the clamper ones. Okay, yeah,
exactly, just like a robot clamper. It's that. It's dumb.
So sorry, Matthew Broderick. You're only on the list one time.
Yep, that's for sure. Brad?
Cool. My number 9 is Toy Story 2.
Dude. Whoa, how is that so low?
I was actually thinking about that today.
He took my top 2 movies. What a floppy donkey dick.
Oh, my goodness.
I saw Ryan's list, and I just reversed it.
What a dick.
Oh, gosh.
Just kidding.
Oh.
No,
that's an amazing movie.
That was a great movie.
Like, part of making my list was, finding movies that, meant something to me in, 1999.
Yeah.
And, Toy Story 2 is an excellent movie, but, the other movies ahead of it, had some kind of connection to that year better than that. So
yeah. So what you're saying is that you injected a bit more of how that movie affected you at the time than it does now into your list. Yeah.
So
there
in order to get, you can remember that 13 years ago how you felt about a movie. That's pretty amazing.
Just based on how I remember it now.
I can see that. if hypothetically he puts episode 1 at his number 1 because he
going
saw
to
it
Joe
12
with a
years
fucking
that
punch in
time,
his face.
I can understand him.
No, I was just curious. I don't. Yeah, I was just curious if that's how you did it, and you can remember that. Like, I don't remember that shit.
Yeah,
because there are some movies that are higher on my list because of how I felt about them then, or how I felt about them when I saw them. Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess. I mean, even. I guess I remember the first time I saw Army of Darkness. I really do.
Yeah,
and that's my favorite movie. I remember picking it up in Target, and I watched it, and I've loved that movie since. So yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so anyway, Toy Story 2.
Oh,
up until I think
dedication.
that scene in Up, which I think we all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it had one of the most like heart, tearjerker moments in all the Pixar movies.
Are you talking about the
when
flashback?
Jesse gets left behind?
Yeah, Jesse's flashback.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
that whole movie's amazing.
Oh, man.
It's actually my number 1 movie. I mean,
and as far as
spoilers,
sequels go,
right?
The ability for a sequel to elevate the material,
and a sequel of a kids movie.
Yeah,
like I think that's especially hard. There are times when sequels can be better. They're few and far between, but kids movies especially, because usually they're just thrown together for the cash. And if there were going to be a movie like that, Toy Story would be it. But the fact that they took the time and really put some heart into that movie and really like broadened what that series, what those characters were about, is just amazing. That we were talking about Pixar before we did the podcast, and I feel like that is probably the movie that solidified them as being more than just a company that made kids movies.
And Woody's one of my favorite characters in any movie. Period. So Toy Story 2 is one of my favorite movies because of Woody.
Yeah, because that's sort of his backstory.
And that's his backstory, and he proves his worth, and because sometimes you forget that he's supposed to be a toy, but he turns out to be a really big collector's item, and he's more special than even Andy knows.
Right.
And so that his whole goal is to go home and there's a reverse role because Buzz Lightyear had to go save him that time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's a great movie.
It is a fantastic movie.
I gotta move it higher up on my list real quick. Hold on just a second. No, I'm just kidding. So where are we?
Number 9.
No, my number 9. My number 9.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
My number 9 is Galaxy Quest. This
Nice.
is definitely one of those movies that is on my list, or at least this high on my list.
The movie
because
that
of
introduced
how-
Justin Long to the rest of the world.
Dude, totally. It may very well have been. I don't know if it's the
That
first
might be
movie
his
he was
first
in.
movie. I mean, that's 13 years ago. How old is he now? He's like 28?
I feel like he might have
Yeah.
been in some other like independent stuff at
maybe.
the same time, like starting out.
Yeah, but anyway, that movie, partially because I was and still am such a huge Trekkie. Like when that movie came out, I remember seeing it in theaters, and so many of the jokes. It totally was. It was the very first movie that he was in. Was Galaxy Quest. Anyway, every single joke in that movie felt like it was just tailored to me and my family and what we were into. So that then we quoted it. We still quote that movie. However many years, 13 years later, it is still a movie that we can talk about. We can just reference it, and everybody in my family knows that movie.
That's a movie I remember seeing in the theater, and I didn't get it when I first saw it, but when I saw it a couple years later, I appreciated it a lot more.
Yeah, it was just so, and it's the kind of sort of spoof that I feel like we don't get that often, that actually really respects what they're doing, but at the same time, the story about what the character that Tim Allen plays, the story of that character is beyond any kind of spoof movie. Like, that's a real serious story about this actor who gets too into this role and doesn't really respect it, and then there's this whole question about, like, what is it that he's even doing? Oh, it's amazing. That movie is way smarter than it deserves to be.
Actually, my favorite actor in the whole movie is Sigourney Weaver. Because, she plays, in the TV show, she plays the sex bomb or whatever you want to call it. And then she tries to keep that image going, years later.
Right.
And I don't know, I kind of like that. And I think she looks pretty good in the movie.
Yeah. Well, and that's a funny one just as far as casting is concerned, because to cast her in that sort of, dishy chick kind of role, but it's Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
It
goes against
Ripley.
everything who she is.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my number 9.
Nice. My number 8 came really close to winning an Academy Award. It's The End of Days. with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, you totally
Really
threw me
close.
off. It wasn't actually nominated for anything, was it? Like sound
Maybe
editing?
sound editing. I don't know.
Oh man, the end
But
of days.
we talked about this on the last podcast actually, and did we talk about it on the podcast? We did.
Yeah, we did.
And we did. And I love the Arnold in it, but I also there's some creepy elements when the devil has sex with his wife and her daughter, and he like morphs into him and stuff, and. There's some pretty evil stuff going on. The only part that's dumb, of course, is that if he has all this power, why can't he just get this chick? It's the only thing that's stupid. But I still like it because I like Arnold movies.
Yeah.
And, that's about it.
Oh, that movie. I need to see that again. I haven't seen it in a long time. So even as you were talking about that stuff, I was like, wait, is that what that movie's about? I
And
just
Arnold
remember,
gets crucified in it, literally.
Yeah. What? Anyway. Brad, you're number 8.
Sorry, I was trying to remember End of Days. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I know,
but
me too.
I remember it being cool when I saw it in the theaters.
Yeah, it's like a cool movie. It's not like, a great movie. I just like it.
There's some fire, something about a church.
Oh, yeah. Arnold kills himself at the end. But sacrifices himself. Doesn't kill himself, sacrifices himself.
Okay, my number 8, I actually got to see recently, is Payback.
Nice.
Which is hard to say given Mel Gibson's current status.
Yeah.
But back then he was cool.
Oh, yeah.
And Payback was cool.
Yeah.
I thought.
I think that when you're judging a movie, you have to take, for the most part, you have to take who the people making that movie are out of the equation. Unless it's Roman Polanski.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I will never support anything like that. But anyways, I mean, he didn't. Because, because Mel Gibson say he didn't like Jewish people isn't like, fucking a children.
No, it's not. Anyway, so you really like Payback.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool, noir, modern noir thing. They talked a lot about how the process of creating the look for that movie by, what is it, chemically pulling the silver out of the prints or something, give it that blue tinge look. Unfortunately, on high definition, you can only get the director's cut nowadays, which I guess people say is a better ending. I watched it. I thought it was boring. I think the ending that Gibson and all the producers came up with in the cut from 1999 is way more fun. So.
See, I've only seen the original. I've never seen the director's cut.
Yeah, the director's cut, he kind of goes to like a bus station and gets killed.
Huh.
What?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that movie is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
funny.
the blue tint to it too. You're right. Like the blue is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forget that movie is really good. It's one that for some reason it doesn't jump. Like when I was looking through the list, it doesn't jump out at me. I should probably see it again for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably way better than not that I remember it poorly. I just mean
I love how like a lot of elements, like some of the side storylines kind of interweave between each other, and Mel Gibson gets some sweet payback in some creative ways. So, anywho,
yeah, you said Payback.
You did.
All right, so we're on to my number 8.
Your number 8.
My number 8 is Paul Thomas Anderson's magnum opus, Magnolia.
Nice.
Which you guys haven't seen Magnolia, right?
I own the
very
prestige version of it on DVD.
Yeah, I love that movie, and this is the movie that I feel like when I first saw it some years ago, like I became obsessed with it and watched it a whole bunch of times and just adored it. It's a movie that now I feel like maybe I don't know if I burned myself out on it or just that my appreciation of it has declined some, that I've realized like, well, it's not really that amazing, but it's a really good movie.
I think it's Tom Cruise's best performance ever.
Probably.
I mean, the scene at the end where he's seeing his father and stuff. Oh man, I love that part.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that movie actually got me into wanting to really looking forward to Punch Drunk Love, because I think that was his next movie after that.
Yeah, I believe it was.
And it was just an interesting movie, and it's how they intertwined and.
Yeah, it's a movie that like I had never seen. Not that I'd never seen a movie where there were all these different stories going on, but that one does it really well. And then like there's a music video in the middle of the movie. Like there's a lot of ballsy stuff. Plus, it was the first time that I think it was the first Paul Thomas Anderson movie that I had seen when I saw it.
You almost said Paul W.S. Anderson.
I did, which is horrible. I think it was the first movie his I had seen, and he has a very, at least interesting, kind of flashy in an artsy kind of way, kind of style. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of long takes and things like that that I appreciate, you know. It's a pretty movie.
It is.
Yeah. That's my number 8.
Nice. My number 7 is The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser.
Dude, I so wanted to get this on my list. I really did. I love that movie.
I do. I found when I was making my list that my 1999 is like the bottom barrel of like my favorite movies from it are like, man, I love Deep Blue Sea and End of Days and The Mummy.
Dude, The Mummy's
great.
fun.
It's really fun.
The first movie is really great. And, you know, part of why I wanted to get it on there is because it's a pulp movie, and we don't get those very often, you know? It's like once every 10 years you get a pulp fiction movie.
Is when Steven Sommers had fun making movies.
Yeah.
And then he started not having fun.
Hey, you haven't seen G.I. Joe. Steve Sommers is having fun making movies in G.I. Joe. Let me tell you.
He's having too much fun in that one.
But I even thought like the villain was really cool.
Yeah.
And Brendan Fraser was actually pretty good in it.
Yep.
When he's given, good material, he's not that bad of an actor.
No,
and,
no.
Yeah, I just thought it was really cool. I like the adventure part of it, and John Hannah's really good in it. Yeah, I just like the adventure of it.
Yeah.
It's just, a fun adventure movie. That's all I can say about it. And then the series rapidly declined.
Oh, gosh.
I guess there's only 2 more. The Mummy Returns was all right.
Yeah, I like Mummy Returns.
Mummy Returns is, it's
everyone's
okay.
god awful.
It's not that great. Oh yeah, I forgot about the third.
But,
When you said the next 2, I was thinking Scorpion King.
Oh no, I love the Scorpion King.
Yeah, but you're talking. Yeah, I forgot that there was even a third one. That movie is horrible.
Yeah.
Ugh.
How can you make a bad use of Jet Li? You know what I mean?
Turn him into a dragon.
But I loved The Mummy, and I loved. I remember back then when you saw the particle effects with the sand, you were blown away.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I haven't seen it in a while, so I'd like to fire it up again and see if
it's still really
holds
cool.
up pretty well.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen it not too long ago, and the adventure action portions of that movie are still just wonderful.
Nice.
The CG is still pretty good. There are a couple of scenes more than Mummy stuff that starts to age more than like the Mummy and the Scarabs age more than the sand stuff. The sand stuff is still really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'll have to fire that bad boy up pretty soon. Brad, your number 7?
My number 7 is Mystery Men.
Nice.
Why didn't I get that on my list?
Why didn't you? It's on my list.
Man.
This movie
is awesome.
Gets a lot of flack, but I think it's fun.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a great cast, and I think it's one of the first movies to poke fun at like superheroes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's weird because it was kind of ahead of its time.
Oh, way
ahead of its time.
You find a lot of early Ben Stiller stuff is ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a while, so it's hard to.
Dude, Jeffrey Rush is in that movie.
He is
it's
in
like
there.
great, and he's amazing.
Yeah, he's the villain, right?
Yeah.
And you've got like just what a great ensemble, like Paul Rubens, William H. Macy,
Dane
Ben
Cook.
Stiller. Yeah, Dane Cook is like that's one of his first roles as
as the waffler.
Yeah.
Janine Garofalo.
Yeah, Janine
but
Garofalo.
before
Greg
mainstream
Kinnear.
people really knew who he was.
Wes
Greg Kinnear's
Studi from like all those great Native American epics and just tons of fun. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
from Kenan and Kel.
Yep.
It's like for those of you who don't know what the movie is, because it's obviously not talked about regularly,
Right.
But it's set in the sort of real world where Greg Kinnear is like this marketed superhero, and he's got like the NASCAR uniform.
He's like Batman, but all of his cool stuff is paid for by Pepsi and Doritos and stuff like that.
Yeah, and because of him, there's all these wannabe superheroes that don't really have any powers. Some of them do, but most of them have William H. Macy is the shoveler. He can just use the shovel really well. And Ben Stiller just gets angry a lot, and that's his power.
Oh man!
So they all once Greg Kinnear's character gets taken out, it's up to them to fight crime, and of course they're bumbling idiots at it, and hilarity ensues. So.
That movie's great.
Yeah,
it feels a lot like me putting Galaxy Quest on my list of like I can see that movie just it feels in the same kind of place where it's like a very specific kind of comedy about a very specific kind of thing.
Yeah, you kind of have to understand that
for certain
world.
people. Yeah,
outside of the spoof element to get it. So yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. So
yeah,
that is my number 7.
That's a great movie.
Or 7. So James, on to you.
My number 7 is a Denzel Washington picture. Samuel L. Jackson is not in this movie, just to make that point clear. And it is called The Hurricane, which is it's actually named after a Bob Dylan song. Also, the fact that the guy's name is The Hurricane. I should say
I never remember that movie. Enlighten me.
It's really good. It's the movie on this list that I need to rewatch the most. So maybe it deserves to be higher, maybe it deserves a little lower. But I remember really liking it. It's about basically this boxer whose nickname is the Hurricane. He gets falsely accused of a crime and then goes to jail for an extremely long time because of it. And then this Canadian family finds out about him and starts helping him try to get out of jail. And it's wonderful. It's a really great movie. And if you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
Well, I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah.
I remember it being out, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's not a movie that a lot of people saw, and I didn't see it for 10 years. But still, great.
Nice.
Your number 6?
My number 6 is actually probably a little shocking one. But because of who directed it is why it's really on here. It's For the Love of the Game with Kevin Costner and
I wonder why it's on there.
Yeah, well, it's directed by Sam Raimi, but actually the story's
exactly.
The story's kind of cool. Kevin Costner plays a pitcher who's about to pitch his last game, and he's about to retire, and he's pitching a perfect game. If for people who don't know, in a baseball, a perfect game is no walks, no hits, no hit batmen. Nobody gets to first base, basically.
Yeah.
And he's pitching it, and he plays for Detroit Tigers, and it's about his girlfriend, too, played by Kelly Preston. And so he's, like, living his last day again, going to the stadium. His car breaks down, and it's just, I don't know. I think it's actually told really well. And then
I do, too.
And Sam Raimi kind of has nice little touches throughout the movie. And
it's an interesting one because it's his most dramatic movie.
Yeah.
You know.
And I thought all the characters in it were played really well. And
I love Kevin Costner.
Oh, yeah. And again, it's probably higher on mine because of Sam Raimi. But
yeah, that's fair.
You know, I just liked it. That's all I can say about it.
I remember, I think it was number 1 for 2 weeks when it came out back in '99. Really? That's what I remember from it.
Sam Raimi's always, Kevin Costner always does pretty well when he does baseball movies.
Oh, yeah. When he does movies. Well, except for Waterworld. but he was always fairly popular.
Yeah, I mean, even his newer stuff I still like. Like, I liked Open Range and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of an old school kind of Western.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my number 6 because, is that number 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, For the Love of the Game. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. I mean, it's not one of the most popular movies, but I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, my number 6 is Dogma.
Yeah.
This also should be on my list.
What? It's not even on there?
It's not even on my list.
Mine's a little higher.
As I was putting on, I realized that this is the this is the movie that introduced me to Kevin Smith films.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I actually didn't see like Clerks or Mallrats until like 2001 or something.
Wow.
Huh.
So, he's one of my favorite filmmakers now. So
yeah.
Back then, little did I know, but yeah, Dogma's a great satire on and commentary on the Catholicism and
it's a little higher on my list. It's actually the third movie I saw of Kevin Smith's. I was introduced to Kevin Smith when I was at a Midsummer Night's Dream cast party in high school, and we watched Clerks. And so we watched Clerks, and then my friend Joe Kempter loved Mallrats, and we used to watch Mallrats every day, basically.
Nice.
And because I just loved when he was talking to Stan Lee and things like that. But this movie's a little higher on my list. I love, I think Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are really good in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love the part when Ben Affleck goes to Mubi's headquarters and he's telling them that, they're worshiping a fake god or...
calling everyone out on their sins, too.
Yeah, calling them out on their sins. And he leaves and he's like, but I do believe in this. And he comes in with a gun and cuts to Matt Damon. And he's like, I do believe in this. What does that even mean? And... it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then it's really interesting. I love how the movie kind of plays out that, you always think that Matt Damon's kind of the rogue guy because he starts off, talking that nun out of believing in God, and then it turns out that
By the
Ben
end, Bartleby.
Affleck, it's really
Bartleby's the one who turns.
Yeah.
Actually, Azrael, you kind of think is the main villain.
Yeah.
But by the end, Ben Affleck steals the show.
Oh, I love the scene too when they meet Azrael in like the Toys R Us.
Yeah.
he's like, wait, people are mad. Why are everyone mad? I forget what they say. He says,
people are mad at us
because you're pissing everyone off.
Oh man,
yeah.
It's funny because that's one of the last Kevin Smith movies that I saw. Like I saw all of them before I saw that one, at least all the ones that were out at the time. And it's still sort of one of my least favorites of his.
I can understand why. I mean,
Like
I think it's a little harder to like that movie.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't like that movie, not at
No,
all.
I
I
agree.
really
I
enjoy
agree.
watching that movie. I just his other movies I have more fun with. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably say Mallrats is my favorite, but
Yeah.
As far as Dogma goes,
I would too.
I just went with friends to see it, and I was there. I didn't know what I was in for, and
It's another movie that you saw first, and I didn't really get it.
yeah, I enjoyed it, and it
then-
didn't make me like run out and watch Clerks or Mallrats or find out more about Kevin Smith. It's just like that was a funny movie, and I saw it a couple more times in the theater, and
Because that movie isn't. It's not like some of the other Kevin Smith movies where they're sort of. Well, Clerks obviously is the big one, where he was doing something really special and out there, and that made you want to know more about it. Like it wasn't a hook as much as the other ones. Like that movie is, clearly about something and is trying to do something, and so you can just sort of take it as it is. Whereas, like Mallrats, he's doing that same kind of dialogue that nobody had heard before.
I really got into Kevin Smith around that time too because he did Dogma, and then DVDs started coming out, and I got The Evening with Kevin Smith came out maybe a year after Dogma, and I really, really started getting behind Kevin Smith at that time, and I really loved him telling stories. I loved his Superman story, and then that made me listen to his commentaries and things like that. So
once you start listening to him just talking, that's as soon as you get hooked on.
and so that's when I really became a big fan of Kevin Smith, was right around Dogma. Even though I liked his movies before, but Dogma was one of them.
Cool.
James?
Cool.
Yeah, we're down to me. Well, my number 6 is also a comedy, but a very different kind. My number 6 is Office Space.
Nice.
Office Space, like, when I first saw that movie, it devoured my time for a long time. Yeah, like, I just...
You got it on the first try? Because I didn't.
You mean, like, I enjoyed it the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you saw all through it, like, you got all the jokes.
No, I mean, did I get all the jokes? No.
Well,
no.
Most of them. Enough to come out of the movie going like, yeah, I got that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean,
it.
I didn't come out of the movie. I didn't see it in theaters because I was kind of too young.
I asked because when I left the theater, I was like, I didn't get it. Like, why was it funny?
Oh,
at the time. Now having worked more jobs, I think I had only worked at Office Max at the time. Now that I've worked more jobs, I get it.
I kind of the deck was kind of stacked against me because I rented it and watched it with my parents, which that is not the kind of movie that I should see with my parents.
No,
because they did not enjoy it that much. But I had friends who were really big fans of it, and so I was like, well, I need to see this. And from the get-go, I always loved that movie.
Good, yeah.
Because even if you don't understand the plight that Peter has as far as hating his job and that kind of thing, I think the other characters, especially Milton, the other characters are so much fun that they keep that movie going. And it's still, I mean, even if you haven't worked a job like I've still never worked an office job like that, but I can, you see it through his point of view, and so I can still relate to him. Which is, you just need to relate to him a little bit for the jokes to be funny. That movie is still really good.
I don't know if it's the job per se, because I've never worked a strictly like clerical office job, but there's certain dynamics of people that are universal from the workplace. So.
When you start meeting more people and seeing the way that they are around work, you start seeing the
there's the cynical people, there's
case of the Monday people,
and super happy people.
Yeah. It's certainly a movie that has informed my interpretations of some things as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
But even then, I still really loved that movie. Yeah. And it was the first time that I had seen anything Mike Judge, who I really love now. So, cool.
Very nice.
Now we're on to 5 halfway.
Number 5 for me is The Green Mile.
Oh,
starring Tom Hanks.
Is that your number one? We're gonna find out.
We'll find
out. But it's a cool movie, and I didn't know I was a fan of Frank Darabont until I saw that movie.
I can't remember if I saw The Green Mile first or Shawshank Redemption first.
I'm pretty sure I saw Green Mile first.
I saw Green Mile first.
Maybe, I don't know. I know my dad loves The Shawshank Redemption, though.
I think I might have saw that in class first.
Shawshank?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But back to Green Mile, yeah. Go on. Why do you like it?
Oh, it's just one of those movies that it's hard for me to just tell you why I like it, but it's one of those movies that you see it and, I mean, you're kind of moved by it, and the performances are amazing in it. And
it's a really well-balanced movie.
I agree.
Because yes, the story at the core is dark and twisted and very Stephen King, but there's a lot of sort of lightheartedness. There's a lot of fun in that movie. Parts of it are a joy to watch, and then parts of it are just horrifying, which make it, pretty lasting.
Yeah, and I've always been a big fan of Tom Hanks, and again, in that movie, he's amazing.
Yeah, that's
and more of a kind of a subdued role for him.
Yeah,
more quiet, but I mean, he's still able to do everything you expect a Tom Hanks role to be, and
he was on an amazing tear.
Oh man,
in that era,
yeah,
Saving Private Ryan, Green Mile, and then like Castaway and some other stuff.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
the 90s were very good to Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Philadelphia, and
yeah,
definitely got some Oscars then. But yeah, I guess little 90s and a little bit of the 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I saw that in the theater or because the memory I have is watching it on a DVD at home and sitting there for 3 hours, and then by the end of it, just being like catching my breath. I was like blown away by it.
Yeah.
And just being like, oh my god, that is so good. And like at that time, I wasn't really into more dramatic adult movies.
Yeah, that's one of the first ones too for me.
Yeah, sitting at the end of it, just gonna be like, that was amazing.
Yeah, around this time, I noticed my movie taste started to change. I mean, I still love horror movies and things like that, but when you're able to sit down and appreciate something like The Green Mile, I think is when you realize how effective movies can be, and that movie was a game changer for me too.
Yeah, because it's a movie that, like I said, is really entertaining, and if you like horror stuff, there's some really, creepy, weird stuff that it keeps you going. But then part of what is so good about that movie is that there are these sort of questions that it leaves you with that you're forced to think about. And when as a film goer, when you're forced to think about those questions and you find yourself enjoying that, that's when it starts to sort of change the way that you look at movies. Because you get hooked on that idea, and you're like, I don't want to see just regular old movies anymore. I want to see movies that talk to me.
Yep.
I can see it being like a good graphic novel, like if it was released in issues, like you'd have the first issue being like, what's his name? Like it's brought to the jail.
Yeah.
Then there's like the whole thing with the mouse, like that's a whole separate thing, and then that guy gets fried, and
there's a lot of
then like the third, like a little comic miniseries,
Yeah. It would make a good one.
I can see it being a good book.
Because it is one.
Heyo.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my number 5.
That's a good one. It's higher on my list.
My number 5 was Galaxy Quest, so yeah.
Now,
did I already talk a lot about it?
No, because we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Did you like it when you saw it?
Oh yeah, I felt like at the time because I saw it with Brian Turner, and we felt like, well, at least I felt like it was this diamond in the rough because I don't think any of my other friends were going to see it, and a lot of my friends like Star Wars, so I was more of a Star Trek fan, so I got a lot of the references, and appreciated it on a different level than my Star Wars friends. So what?
No, sorry, go ahead. I was interrupting you.
Oh no, I didn't know where else to go with it. It's just I watched it recently, and I had to explain to the person I was watching with that like the whole rock monster scene is this homage to the fact that in Star Trek V, the whole climax of that movie was this planned sequence of not just these rock pillars, but an entire rock monster. It was supposed to be built and animated and fight Kirk and Spock and McCoy on this and Cybok.
Yeah.
And the budget ran out, so they had to settle for the awful ending that they have.
Yeah.
And
which I mean,
they totally need to redo for DVD.
I don't know.
They're doing all these next generation.
Rock Monster was going to be that much better than. Anyway,
I'd like to see the William Shatner director's cut with the Rock Monster in it. If they can remaster all the original series in next gen, they should take a little time to give us a special edition of Star Trek V with that sequence added to it. But anyway, yeah, just like that sequence. That's why Tim Allen's fighting the Rock Monster, and they're like, there's nods to that.
But I think I think that even if you didn't know that story, where that idea comes from, that sequence is still really good.
Oh yeah, it's still good.
Like, it's still funny.
But it resonates with me so much more because being a nerd, like someone understood Star Trek enough to write a script that references these things and doesn't make them blatantly obvious. You know, they naturally envelop in the plot. So anyway, yeah, just
and then there are jokes that are like the Smashers joke that is a really funny joke to anyone who sees the movie, and then to anybody who's a Star Trek fan, you're like, yeah, like, why are there all these things on the ship? You know, there are, anyway, yeah, that movie's great. That movie is really great.
Yeah,
man, it needs to be higher on my
There's
list.
a lot of like the Thermians.
Yeah,
there's like a lot of up and coming people in there because, like you said, Justin Long. I'm blanking on his name right now. Dwight,
the guy who plays Monk.
Yeah, well, he was already like a big star, I thought.
Yeah, I guess so.
Doing stuff.
Rainn Wilson
on Wings or whatever. Yeah, Rainn Wilson's one of the guys. Forgetting some others, but yeah, if you watch it, there's just a whole cast of like.
Oh, and Sam
Rockwell's
Rockwell's
that guy.
in that
Oh yeah,
movie.
Sam Rock.
I
forgot he was in it until I rewatched it. And
yeah,
Guy Fligman. Yeah,
he doesn't know Sam Rockwell.
There's a line he had that Brian and I used to quote so much. It's the thing about don't open that. Is there air out there? You don't know. Which totally makes sense. Like, half the time they beamed out these planets. And
yeah,
I guess they have the
absolutely.
scanners ahead of time to like, oh, this is an M-class planet. But still.
Yeah. Oh, man. We got to get out of here before one of these things kills Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
it's too good.
Yeah, that movie was also really quotable.
Yep.
I have to watch it again to get back into it. But yeah, anyway, Galaxy Quest, awesome.
Well, mine's a repeat, too. My number 5. My number 5 is South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Which is, I don't even remember when I saw that for the first time. I must have already been watching South Park. Because, South Park was not a show I was really supposed to be watching. The first time I saw an episode was actually, we were on vacation in Florida, and the Gobbles Thanksgiving episode,
That's one of the
was
first ones.
on. And my parents were gone, and Jake and I turned it on, because Jake was old enough to watch it. Jake and I turned it on, and he was like, here, you should watch this show. And I thought it was amazing. I didn't understand most of the crude jokes, but the jokes about the turkey with his head on the ground was funny. But yeah, the movie is amazing. And as I have said many times, one of the greatest musicals of the last 30 years.
Not just a great movie, but also a great musical.
Yeah.
Which also, I got to see Robin Williams perform the Blame Canada song at the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a better musical than any of the ones they're making now. It's a better musical than Glee, because Glee isn't a musical.
It's also a reason why I really want to see the Book of Mormon, because those
yeah.
guys know how to make musicals.
Absolutely, they do.
They do.
All right.
My number 4 is a repeat. Is Dogma.
Very cool.
Sorry.
There's
you're good.
There's a
I really
poop
just took
monster in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good. And it's even better every time that Kevin Smith makes a joke about the big rubber poop monster.
Dude, we got a rubber poop monster in this. If you've seen Evening with Kevin Smith, man, I love the Dogma questions in it.
Brad?
My number 4 is Princess Mononoke, which is a Miyazaki anime.
Was that 99?
That is 99.
Is it just
Very
the
low
American
on the
release
list.
is 99, or is it...
I don't know.
I got you. Yeah.
I remember...
You saw it in 99, so that's how it works.
That is how it works.
That's the Brad asterisk on the list.
If that is how it works, like 8 of the movies on my list, I didn't see in '99.
I went off the Box Office Mojo list. It's on there like at number 300 or something.
Yeah, I got you.
$100,000 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I think it was also like that was my first Studio Ghibli Miyazaki film, and
Ghibli.
Ghibli?
It's pronounced Ghibli.
Ghibli?
Yeah, like giblets.
I was just saying
Like I'm
Ghibli
saying
because
giblets.
I think it's
Mr.
funny name.
McGiblets.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, like a great story about, it's been a
Forest
while, but
spirits,
deforestation, and forest spirits, and
it's one of the
characters and art design are just really like as an artist, I appreciate like with the kokiri thingies that shake their head.
Oh yeah,
like those
I don't
are
remember whether
adorable and it's weird at the same time. Like,
and it feels like one of the Hayao Miyazaki movies with the most plot.
Yeah,
we were talking about this before because Ryan was looking at a long list of Rotten Tomatoes like best animated movies, and what was it? My Neighbor Totoro is on there.
Yeah, it's like number
and I was saying
20.
like I like My Neighbor Totoro, but because it has so little actual story, like there's very little plot to that movie, and so it's hard to connect with sometimes. Whereas Princess Mononoke, there's a bit more direction.
I feel like they're going from A to B like more directly.
Yeah, exactly.
And some other
there
movies
is
like
an
Howl's
ending.
Moving Castle and Spirited Away, they're kind of bullshitting through a bunch of stuff. Like, here's just this scene, here's this scene, and
But I love Howl's
pretty.
Moving Castle.
But do you?
Oh yeah, mostly because the animation in that movie to me stands out even more because of the little thing. That's a story about this like little girl who gets turned into this old woman, and the fact that certain things in the movie will start her turning back into a young girl again. Visually, that movie is just stunning. I hardly even remember what happens. I just remember those moments. Anyway, that's beside the point. That movie did not come out in '99.
Howl's Moving Castle? I
No.
think it's 04. Yeah.
But Princess Mononoke did, and it's pretty good.
Yeah. One of my favorites.
Cool. Well, my number 4 is a repeat. It's The Green Mile.
No, ours are pretty close.
Yeah, absolutely. Might be the first Stephen King thing I was exposed to. Might be. Because I didn't see Stand By Me when everybody else did. I saw it really late.
I think the first one I saw was Silver Bullet.
I never saw Silver Bullet.
Which is...
what's that?
It's a adaptation of Cycle of the Werewolf. Huh. It's with Corey Haim. He's in a wheelchair, and he shoots a bottle rocket at the werewolf. And Gary Busey's in it. You should see it. It's actually not that bad.
I just know, like, because I wasn't into a lot of horror stuff, like, I just sort of avoided most of it.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I saw Shawshank late, too. So I think that Green Mile was the first movie that I watched that was a Stephen King movie.
It's a good one. Nice exposure.
Yeah, it is.
It's definitely one of the best, for sure.
Alrighty.
Right.
Your number
my number 3 we haven't said yet. My number 3 is The Matrix.
You son of a bitch.
Dude, my number 3 is The Matrix.
Is it? Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mine's a little higher.
The Matrix, when I saw that for the first time, I thought it was okay.
Really?
Yeah, I
agree. I didn't get it at all.
What?
I was like, what the frick just happened?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you guys?
It's not like I don't know what it was about it when I first saw it, but I'm like, it's all right.
Yeah.
But it was also one of the first DVDs I remember purchasing, because I remember they were saying, oh, the white rabbit on the DVD, if it comes on the screen, you hit it, and it tells you secrets about the
one
movie.
of the first DVDs that really promoted Easter eggs.
Yeah. And so when I watched it again, I realized actually how brilliant the movie was. And, so I actually, you were saying that because would the sequels diminish how you felt about the first one?
Yeah.
And I actually think it actually elevates the first one and makes it better. Because when you see it, and I saw it for the first time, I'm like, it's all right. But then, you see it again, and when Keanu comes out and he stops the bullets from hitting him, and they fall down, then you're like, oh, this is badass. And, yeah. So
absolutely. Yeah.
I got really behind it. I think after maybe the second or third time I saw it. I don't remember.
I think my point is more just that when I watch it now, I have a hard time not thinking about the sequels at all.
Yeah.
Which keeps me from really getting into and really just enjoying that movie the way that I did when I first saw it. Because the thing is, The Matrix was another movie that was, because it was rated R, I didn't see it in 1999 because I was like 13. And when I did see it, I actually didn't see it until it was running on television.
Huh.
So I know. But here's the thing: when I first saw it, I was in it right away. I remember the first time I watched it. I think I watched half of that movie. I was in my basement. Our TV in the basement is like up on a kind of high shelf. I watched that whole movie standing in front of that TV, in 2 feet away, just standing for almost the entire movie because I was like, "This is amazing." I don't know I didn't even know what it was at first. It was just on TV, and I started watching it, and it blew me away. Now that I talk about it, I do feel like it should be higher on my list. But the truth is, when I watch it now, I don't have that passion for it that I used to. The action is still amazing and probably changed what we expect from action sequences after that, but it's still like there's a little bit of it that's tainted.
I still don't get why it's rated R. Is there cussing in it?
Oh yeah. I
don't remember.
Yeah, it's just for language pretty
dropped
much.
the F-bomb a couple times.
Yeah.
And of course there's tons of guns and
but not really like bloody violence.
There's not blood really, except for when Keanu gets shot. There's not blood. There's a little bit of talking about sex, but no more than could be in a PG-13 movie.
Whatever happened to Keanu Reeves? Is he dead?
He's sitting on a bench somewhere.
No, he's been in a lot of movies. He's just not,
What's his last movie?
There might have been
Hardball?
some DVD.
No. What was that movie about the lake? The Lake House.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Lake House
That
with
was like
Sandra
4
Bullock.
years ago.
Yeah, it was.
Anyways, he probably made enough money on the Matrix movies.
Oh yeah, he's doing okay.
Yeah.
And Bill and Ted.
He was supposed to be doing the Akira live action, but
No,
that
Cowboy
tanked.
Bebop.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I hope
Or
not.
maybe he was attached to Akira too.
I think he was attached to both of those, and they're both not happening.
Yeah, good.
Because of him.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Brad, number 3.
That movie's amazing.
My number 3 is The Green Mile, so
Cool. And your number 3 was...
My number 3 was The Matrix.
My number 2 is South Park.
We really destroyed each other's top
We did.
5 lists.
No, because my number 1 isn't on your guys' list.
Nice.
Nothing else to say about South Park.
Oh,
yeah.
It's funny.
It's great.
So what do my number 2?
Your number 2?
My number 2 is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
You are the devil.
I knew it.
You are the devil incarnate.
Hey, it could be worse. It could be number 1.
No. Well, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
No, it's obviously it's.
I mean, it's
above all those just because of the hype and the state of mind we were in at the time. It's,
you're taking that through the scope of like how much it meant to you that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I look back on 1999 and I collect a bunch of movies, like that I cannot block that out of existence. Just whether people think it's good or not, it's like it was a part of my life then. And it deserves to be on if I'm making a top 10 list of movies from that year, like it belongs on there. So,
I totally understand that.
Have I ever told you guys my Phantom Menace story?
No. Well, maybe. I probably forgot it.
Probably. I'm sure you've heard it. But I'll tell it anyways because I told you I'd tell it at the beginning of the podcast. Remember when I said that? Here we go.
I see what you're doing.
So my friend Joe, who does the Real Gamers podcast with me, make sure you listen to it. We just did a new one, Most Anticipated Games for next year. But anyways, my friend Joe had a girlfriend named Beverly, and Beverly worked at Denver West.
Beverly Mitchell from Seventh Heaven?
Yes.
Okay.
So Beverly Mitchell worked at Denver West Movie Theater, and anyway, she worked at the Denver West Movie Theater. And remember when this movie came out, we didn't want to see it at midnight because we had to go to school, obviously.
Pussies.
Yeah. So we couldn't see it at midnight, but his girlfriend bought us tickets for the 7:30 morning show. So we, on Friday, because me and Joe didn't have a morning class, and we had children's theater afterwards, so we literally just watched Star Wars instead. So anyways, she bought the tickets for us, so we didn't have to wait in line to buy the tickets. And then when we got to the movie theater, the line, oh my gosh, the line was really long. I mean, you've been to Denver West. It went down the stairs.
That's in the days when it would go down the stairs and then back around the complex.
Yep.
Oh, man.
And so Beverly was working that morning, and me and Joe showed up about, an hour before the movie, and we're like, fuck, we're really far back here. And so we're just sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden Beverly comes out of the the movie theater, and she's panicked. She has a panicked look on her face. And she found me and Joe, and she said, Ryan, Joe, can you please help us? We don't know if we can open in enough time, and if you help us, we'll let you sit anywhere in the movie theater. And we said, sure. So we literally popped popcorn for like 30 minutes and helped them get it ready. They gave us free popcorn and soda. And so we went in 5 minutes before everybody else, sat right in the middle. And the first guy who walked into the theater came in, and he had a Star Wars stuff on, and he was ready to go. Turns the corner, and he says, how the fuck did these guys get in here? And me and Joe were like, meh. And so we had inside, and so, we're getting excited, and that's the first part of my Star Wars story. The second part is we sat down, and we started watching the movie, and some dude behind me had a laser pointer and kept on pointing it at the screen, and he was, as the screen crawl was going, he kept on moving it up. And he kept on doing it, and people are like, come on, man, and it got really quiet. And so he kept on doing it, and I stood up in the theater, turned around, I said, hey, if you don't stop using that laser pointer, me and a bunch of Star Wars geeks are going to kick your ass. And the whole theater went, woo! And he didn't point again. So I did have great moments with The Phantom Menace when I saw it.
And none of them were while the movie was playing.
And then when the movie was over, I'm like, yeah.
I stood in line for I popped popcorn for this.
I cheated my way into the best seats in the theater for this.
I wonder if that guy meant, who the fuck are these guys? Like he knew you, or just in general, like who are these guys?
Yeah,
I want to.
That'd be hilarious if he actually knew you.
Yeah,
I want to build a time.
Get in here?
I want to build a time machine and go back to those theaters, and as people are coming out of that movie, start saying to them, "Guess what, guys? That's the best of the prequels," and just watch their heads explode.
And then
it's all downhill from here.
And then 6 years later, they'll be like, that dude was a fucking liar.
Actually, it'd be better if after they watch that to, just tell them. Never mind.
It gets better.
No, here's the thing: is like they wouldn't make it to 6 years because after Attack of the Clones, they would all kill themselves because they'd be like, that guy might actually be right. I don't know.
But yeah. Anyways, it was a fun time.
That Star Wars guy's like the Biff Tannen of your story. McFly, what are you doing in the Star Wars screening before me?
What's he always call McFly?
Huh?
Lame brain. What does he call him all the time?
Butthead?
Butthead.
Yeah.
Butthead.
Oh, gosh. Alrighty.
Yeah, my story is I saw it 12 times in 99, so.
Exactly. He did see it 12 times. And you know what? He has proof. He kept his movie
I have all the
stubs.
ticket stubs.
Any movie
and
that you
I
saw
fell
12
asleep.
times deserves to be on that list.
Yeah.
Unless you're insane.
I think I matched it with The Dark Knight, so.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Man.
But Dark Knight was way more expensive.
And way better.
And I didn't fall asleep in 4 or 5 of them.
Wait, did you fall asleep
He always
in
falls
4 out of
asleep in
5
movies.
of...
Did you?
Well, back
Wait,
then,
are you talking about Star Wars?
Star
or...
Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because some of those screenings I went to between classes, so I don't know. I was just exhausted, and I knew it was happening, so it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna miss it. Yeah, I mainly go to like get to the pod race part, and I wake up after the pod race part and be like, oh man. Well, at least I got the lightsaber battle.
And we were really mad at Brad during school because he said, hey guys, you want to go see Star Wars with me again? We're like, no, not. Okay, yeah, sure, I guess we'll go. And then you walk away and go, yippee! We're like,
Did not do that. You made that up.
Did make that up.
Jump in the air and kick my heels together.
Yeah.
Yippee! Anyway, that was my number 2. So James, we're on to you.
And if you want to hear more about it, there is a podcast that we did that's an hour and 40 minutes long about episode 1.
And 40 minutes of that, maybe a little more, is just us arguing about episode 1.
Yep.
And it's actually really good.
It is. That's a fun podcast.
I make some really good points in my brilliant argument. My number 2 is a good movie. My number 2 is Toy Story 2.
Yahoo.
Yippee!
Yippee! Toy Story 2 is my number 1 movie. Did you want to add anything to Toy Story 2?
I don't think so. It's really special. No, that movie's really good.
It's amazing. Yep. Brad, your number 1.
My number 1 was The Matrix.
Nice.
So
anything you want to add to The Matrix?
All I wanted to talk about was I went to see it, with a group of friends. Left the theater going. Everyone else seemed to really enjoy it, but I was like, it was way over my head. I didn't get it at all. And then we had some friends who hadn't seen it, so I think I went back and saw it 2 or 3 more times before I finally figured out how cool it was.
And by get it, you mean the coolness of it, not the science fictionness of it.
Even the science fiction of it, I was kind of figuring out. I haven't seen the movie in a while, but I feel like there was this element of, so what are they doing? They're in this world, and then they're out there, and like how does this environment, like, what are the rules? I don't understand what's going on in that aspect. Like he has learning powers. I don't know.
I was the same way. I mean,
it's hard to go back and like. I just remember the feeling of not understanding. I'm not exactly sure what it was.
I was the same way. I mean, I understood like the concept of it, but I had to like watch it a couple times to actually understand the concept of it and what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I was the same way with it. Like I saw it once in the theater, and I went back and saw it again, and it seems like every time I saw it, I would start getting knowing more about it.
Yeah.
What you had to do is you went and saw The Matrix, and you were like, I don't really understand what that movie is. So then you went and saw The 13th Floor, and you went, okay, that's what's going on in The Matrix. Now The Matrix is cool. 13th Floor is still really boring and stupid, but The Matrix is cool now because I understand it.
And it has action in it.
Yeah.
I think it might have been like the themes of like what defines reality.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I got you.
Like beyond the fact that there's this computer program, and then there's real reality. Like what
the little things, like when he's talking about the steak, and he says that the questions about whether or not the steak is really the best steak ever.
Yeah,
like those weird
or the things like there's no
questions.
spoon. Yeah, like the philosophy behind it. They're touching on it, and I guess it's like my 17-year-old brain still hasn't studied those questions yet, so I'm just kind of like, it's touching on something that I've never heard, had a relationship with before. I'm just focusing on the action and stuff, and so after a couple screenings, like I finally got it, and this many years later, the sequel is really sour my appreciation for it, but I'm sure if I picked it up again and actually watched it not on just TV,
the Blu-ray packaging is really cool.
It is.
I have the HD DVDs, and they had a really cool set with
every
that.
Time,
they did.
Every time you say I have the HD DVDs, I laugh. Oh man,
HD DVD made way more sense at the time than Blu-ray.
No,
Stupid
it didn't.
Sony.
No, because HD DVD is harder to say than Blu-ray.
But it makes sense. It's DVD plus HD.
Yeah, but then I have to say
and you
HD
can get
DVD.
both DVD and Blu-ray, or DVD and HD DVD on the same disc. You don't even have to do separate discs.
Who needs
But
that?
Blu-ray's better.
Yeah, Blu-ray's way better.
Just because Sony said so.
And there's more
Judge
space.
not-
There's more.
marketed
There's
it.
more.
Not because Sony said so, because Disney, Fox,
Yeah.
all those people
Which
said
means
You
so.
can get more space on the
Because
Blu-ray.
Sony paid those studios to support them.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it did work out for them. And I don't mind Blu-ray. It's all right.
Alrighty. And then we're on to my number one.
Number one.
That's right.
My number one is a movie we haven't talked about.
Can I guess it, or do you want to?
You already know what it is.
I do know what it is.
But you
So
can see my computer screen.
No, but I already knew what it was before.
Because I brought it up the other day.
You did.
Yeah. We were in Barnes & Noble, and there was a copy of Rocket Boys. And I was like, we're going to talk about this next week. And it's funny because I knew it was going to be on my list, but I didn't know it was going to be number one. My number one is October Sky, which is, if you haven't seen it, it's a movie. Jake Gyllenhaal plays the kid who he grew up in a small mining town, and after Sputnik was launched, he became sort of obsessed with rockets. And what he designed was the cone shape at the end, at the bottom of a rocket, that causes the propellant to sort of bottleneck, and then it has more control over the way the rocket launches. Anyway, he invented that, and without that, we don't go to the moon. And it's a story about how he and his friends built these rockets and figured out all of this math and this science inside of this little mining town, and how that got them. I mean, eventually that guy went on to work for NASA, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But at the core, it is really this really wonderful father-son story. Chris Cooper plays his father, and Chris Cooper is absolutely amazing in this movie. Like, he plays the best sort of, he's not a jerk dad, but at the same time, like, you understand what he's doing.
He's ignorant
dad.
Yeah, he's a really tough dad.
Ignorant.
No, he's not ignorant. Like, it's unfair to call him ignorant because his point is completely valid. He just doesn't actually have faith that his son can get out of this town because he never could. It's a really amazing movie, one that nobody really talks about. It has a special place in my heart also because it's Joe Johnson who just directed Captain America
and Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, Joe Johnson does not have a real great track record.
I don't think Jurassic Park 3 is that bad.
I think it's awful.
Right.
I think it's really awful.
I don't think it's awful at all.
There's worse sequels.
Yeah.
No, yeah, there are, but as a sequel, it's a sequel that makes The Lost World look really, really good.
But Dr. Alan Grant's in it.
Yeah,
I love Dr. Alan Grant.
And, anyway, but he also directed The Rocketeer, which I love. And so there's a little bit of like underdog in it for me, where it's like this movie shouldn't be as good as it is, but it moves me.
Can I tell you something funny about October Sky?
Sure.
So Laura Dern is on the poster, right?
Yeah, but she's only in the movie for 20 minutes.
And so is Jake Gyllenhaal, and me and Brandon used to make fun of it because you can't see this in Radioland, but both of them are on the poster doing this. So it looks like they're both
sort of
ready for
goofy
like
smiley
cock
face.
to be inserted in their mouth.
They're both like, no. They're looking up at the sky in
with
awe.
their mouths gaped open. And so me and Brandon used to make fun of it all the time. And then his mom rented it, and we watched it. We're like, this movie's great.
Yeah. No, it's really special.
Yeah.
And it's the first like really wonderful Jake Gyllenhaal role. You know. Not that I don't know if there's that many wonderful Jake Gyllenhaal.
You know what Jake
roles,
Gyllenhaal's really good in? Man vs. Wild with Bear Grylls.
Wait, he shows up in Man vs. Wild?
Yeah, he wanted to do Will Ferrell and Jake Gyllenhaal did a Man vs. Wild with Bear Grylls.
I did not know that.
And he did a pretty good job, man. He freaking shimmied across a 100-foot long, 200-foot drop gorge. So that's pretty impressive on a single rope.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a great movie.
So yeah, look up Man vs. Wild. It's awesome. Yeah, no, but October Sky is
every
cool.
other movie we saw today.
Yeah, and so
said today.
October Sky, that was just funny because me and Brandon would always make fun of it, and then when you see it and you like it, you're like, I guess you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
I've had a few of those myself, yeah.
But I mean, they're seriously like staring up at the sky with their mouths gaping open.
And I should say, I also am in love with the space program and the Apollo program and all of that, and so that's part of it too. Is that I am so fascinated by the story itself that it gets a bump. I mean,
that's okay.
I put it over The Matrix, which is
dude.
crazy.
I have Deep Blue Sea on mine. It's all right. You don't have.
But at least yours was 10.
I
know. I'm not justifying it. I absolutely just think it deserves to be there. It just really surprised me.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. I mean, there's movies sometimes where you're just like, wow, that's I really like that. I mean, Real Steel for me this year. I mean, I still love that movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, it happens every once in a while where there's just a movie, and that's what's great about movies. It's also great about opinions. Everybody has one. And just because you
they
like
all
a movie,
stink. Wait, no, that's not the. That's
just
because
you like a movie so much doesn't mean that it's. Movies are a lot like books and any form of entertainment. They can touch you in a different way.
You're subjective,
just like your uncle.
Wow.
Oh man, I was like, this is so nice and eloquent. How is Ryan gonna screw this out?
Oh, there it is.
Molestation.
But no, in all seriousness, yes.
Speaking of Roman Polanski, no.
Yeah, I'm glad Carnage only made $2 million, by the way, this year. But I'm sad that it made $2 million.
What were the other really bad movies from the... Oh, Wild Wild West.
Dude, that was... How much money did that movie make? It was like number 7 or something on the list.
I think I may have seen it twice for some reason.
I saw it in the theaters. I know I did because, you come from Will Smith making, Independence Day. And
it was Big Green Weekend.
Men in Black. And then that was following Men in Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh, Kevin Kline.
It's got Kenneth Branagh in it. Which at the time I didn't understand, but now I look back and I'm like, how in the world is he playing the half-blown-up Southern guy in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
How did...
And then, what makes even... that movie, what makes the movie great is when you see an evening with Kevin Smith and he talks about the giant spider, and that spider shows up. But, then that movie, they try to put in that the KKK jokes and stuff, and you're just like, oh, man.
Oh, it's insane. It's really... I don't understand how that movie came out the way it did. But I was so excited for it. I remember
As I rolled into the Wild Wild West. As I strolled into the Wild Wild West.
Oh, man. And Selma Hayek.
Oh,
Who
my
chose
gosh.
Selma... Anyway,
so many great actors.
I spent like $5 on a pair of Wild Wild West sunglasses at Burger King before that movie came out, and they were tiny. They were sunglasses for kids.
Yeah, that's a bummer. That's one of those movies where you just hoped it would be better.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I mean, there's so many great actors in it.
Oh, who is it that plays the guy with like one ear? He plays Buffalo Bill in. Anyway,
shoot, what's
I
his
can
name?
I can see the actor. I just don't remember his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's in that movie too as the.
Where are you, Will Smith?
Oh man.
I remember when they have those magnetic collars and they try to run away from each other.
Yeah, and then they jump over the thing and then they snap together.
Yeah,
and
I
then
like
they
my
fall
Kevin
in the mud.
Kline either being gay or playing the president.
Oh man, he needs to make a movie where he plays the first gay president.
Oh, dude,
he would win an Oscar.
And you know what? We won't call it Dave or In and Out. We'll call it Steven.
With an exclamation point at the end.
Kevin Kline, if you're listening to Real Nerds, dude, I'll write that script.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I think Wild
man.
Wild West should have embraced more of the steampunk aesthetic. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Going in, I was like, "Where's the like?" They should have like steam-powered horses. You know, like these like metal horses that were like, steam-powered, and then
Or at least let the steampunk be cooler, like or
I
you
think-
know more
I think they
subtle but
focused more on
cooler,
just,
not
like-
just like oh it's a giant spider or you know we can turn this guy's head upside down and look at the last thing he saw. Like I was
like they went for super weird and like really emphasized the buddy comedy element when they really
Yeah.
should just kind of like you're doing this like sci-fi Wild West thing, which is like steampunk, and instead it's just like here's these goofy like comedic bits between.
Well, it's because they wanted Men in Black again, you know.
Yeah, they went more weird, and anywho.
Yeah.
Anywho.
And as we know, what's his name? Peter Johnson. The guy from the Kevin Smith story. The guy who is producing that movie
Peter Goober
is insane.
No, it's
John Peters.
John Peters. I knew I was close.
Fudge.
The guy who's making that movie is friggin' insane. And so that's why that movie is just off the walls and wrong.
Yep.
So what other disappointing movies do you guys have from 99?
Wing Commander was that year. We talked about that.
Yeah, we did
for a
talk about
minute.
Wing Commander.
I love Wing Commander 3, but
I cannot believe that Wing Commander was 1999. Like the fact that movie comes out 2 years after what was it? Starship Troopers. Like to me, Wing Commander is an older, way lower budget movie than Starship Troopers.
But dude, we looked. It cost $30 million to make that movie.
Yeah, $30 million made 11. You know, it's that movie. I can't believe that was 1999.
Yeah.
It was. I remember seeing it. And being like, oh,
I do.
Man, where's Mark Hamill?
I do like Sleepy Hollow. I like the imagery in it, and I like anything Christopher Walken plays a bad guy in. Johnny Depp's pretty good in it. I haven't seen it in a while.
Is it one of your disappointing movies?
It's like one of my in-between movies.
So we're doing runner-ups now?
That's the only one I really remember.
We're just talking.
We're just talking.
Sorry.
Do you have a list?
I did.
Okay.
I separated my stuff out, so I was like...
Is Boondock Saints on your list anywhere?
Oh, that was from that...
Yeah.
It wasn't on the Box Office Mojo list, though.
Probably because it made no money.
Wait.
Because it took a while for...
yeah, it should have been on that list, because, it came out, and then because of Columbine, they shelved it, and then...
Yeah. But it was that year.
Damn it, that might have been...
And it is purposely not on my list. Like, I really liked that movie when I first saw it, but then when it became such like a bro thing, I don't know. I can't... It taints that movie.
I think it's overrated.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree that it's over... Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. It's overrated.
For me, because you know how much I love gratuitous violence and stuff. Sometimes just,
Yeah. I think there's some really cool, fun stuff in that movie, and as like a little indie action film, it's cool, but it gets such hype.
Yeah, I agree. It's like Scarface, where Scarface has become like such a part of like pop culture, even though it's like people have Scarface posters, they've never seen the movie. Always drives me nuts.
Also, Troy Duffy is a dick.
Yeah, have you seen that documentary Overnight?
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard enough about
I'll lend it to you.
That dude, and I've seen bits from that dude. I'm just like, it makes me like that movie. It's kind of like the Roman Polanski thing. Like, it makes me like that movie less just because
he's associated with it.
Yeah, like that guy is a jerk. And he has overhyped it. Like, he thinks it's way better than it really is.
Really? He overhyped it?
He's laughing all the way to the bank now because I see tons of merchandise.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, he spent a lot of money on making a sequel that no one saw. You know?
All Saints Day.
Yeah.
I want to find out how they get out of prison.
I really, I wanted to find a place for Three Kings on my list as well, but at the same time, I needed to see that movie again to really be able to judge it properly.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What was your guys' reaction to the Blair Witch Project?
Fucking hate the Blair Witch Project.
Big hit for that year, but
yeah,
I hated it.
I can't even.
It's
remember
not my cup of tea.
No, this my problem with the Blair Witch Project more so than even Paranormal Activities, because Paranormal Activities are still scripted. The problem I always had with Blair Witch is it was fake scripted, and people would always say, "Oh, it's so terrifying because it seems so real." But you know that part where she's like, "I threw the map in the water," and you're like, "Why did you throw the map in the water?" Because, and then you have this huge argument about the compass, or I don't even remember. I saw it one time, but they have the huge argument about her throwing that map or the compass away, and then that snot coming out of her nose.
I don't remember a lot, but I remember going in, sitting down, expecting it to be really scary. Them having the whole movie framed in the projector aspect ratio,
Mm-hmm.
and then just sitting through the whole movie, just going to be like, okay, it's going to get good, right? It's going to get better. And then the camera falls over at the end, you're like, this is bullshit.
Or they try to play
what
it
a
up
waste
like,
of time.
You know how people said how scary the ending was when the dude was looking in a corner because they told some lame ghost story? Yeah, not scary.
Yeah. And then I left the theater with like Roger and Russell, and they're like, "Oh, that was pretty terrifying." I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah. It's like I have people.
Friday
friends who
13th
like it too.
movies are scarier than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Well, part of it was that the marketing for that was such that
I mean, I don't think
really
one of the best marketing campaigns
it
ever.
set the stage for people to really be scared by that movie. And again, you know, obviously it didn't work on you guys, but nobody had really seen anything like that before. Like,
I mean, I respect a movie that cost $15,000 to make and made over $100 million.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean I want to watch it again.
Yeah,
yeah. I forgot that was even that year. Iron Giant wasn't on anybody's list.
I know. I thought it'd be on yours.
On mine?
Yeah.
I didn't like it when it came out. Like, I came out of that movie being like, okay, remember, I was 13 years old. No, 12 years old. And I came out of that movie being like, yeah, the sort of undertones of not liking guns was a little, heavy-handed. And when you're 12 years old and you can pick out the politics in a movie, that's not a great sign. I appreciate it a lot more now. I still think it's really heavy-handed. There's a point in that movie where the Iron Giant says, like, "I'm a gun," and you're going, come on. But and to be a hand animated movie, it's really pretty.
Mm-hmm. I'll go down the rest of my runner-up list just to
go ahead.
Cover stuff. If I had been making this list about stuff I really liked at the time, Tarzan would have been on there.
Oh wow,
that was a good one. I think it's animated very well.
Yeah, it is.
I hate Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh yeah, she was one of the monkeys.
She's got a song.
Yeah. I thought it was a fun because Tarzan's been told so many times. I thought they did a pretty good job of
keeping it fresh, and singing. Phil Collins does the soundtrack. And
I remember seeing it with my mom, and she does this every now and then when they will remake something like that, like Tarzan. I remember her trying to convince me that I shouldn't like it because it wasn't like the old Tarzan versions. She'll do the same thing when Dark Shadows comes out. She'll tell me about how much Dark Shadows was good and how much the new one is bad. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. Tarzan.
Jacob the Liar is something I caught on DVD.
I've never seen that. Is it good?
I like it. I mean, Robin Williams was doing a lot of movies during that time.
Yeah, he was.
Most of them dramatic and
not good.
A couple of the dramatic roles.
I remember liking Bicentennial Man, which I think was also from this year. But
yeah, it was.
This year, yeah.
That movie's not good anymore.
Anymore. I remember.
I liked it when I saw it.
Yeah, I liked it at the time, but it was really, really depressing. Like,
yeah,
it made me kind of
really
think about my own mortality.
Yeah,
I was like, God, it would suck to live forever.
It made me think about my own mortality, and I was 12.
Yeah,
I remember being like, "Oh man, I'm gonna die."
I don't want to live forever because all your friends would be gone. It sucks.
Can I turn into a robot so I don't have to die like the robot did?
But Jacob the Liar. How to describe it? It's just most like.
It's about the Holocaust, right?
Yeah, most Holocaust movies are like very grand in scope. Like this one really focuses on more on characters.
Yeah.
And it's got like Alan Arkin and Liev Schreiber in it, and a bunch of other great actors, and it's basically about kind of creating like Jacob Rob Williams. He through a series of lies kind of creates this myth about himself that really causes all the oppressed Jews, in his circle to feel better about the situation they're in. It like gives them this hope. Just by like the power of how a lie can actually be good.
Yeah.
Like do good. In the end, it doesn't work out. Works out quite horribly.
Oh.
But, the path along the way is.
Yeah, I got you.
Really touching and sweet.
Is The Sixth Sense on your list?
It's not.
None of us talked about The Sixth Sense.
Just because when I saw it, I saw the whole surprise. Like everyone talks about like this big reveal, and I saw it in the scene when he's sitting down next to the woman early on, talking to her.
You mean the kid's mom?
Yeah, the kid's mom.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I think this guy's actually dead.
Oh, good for you.
So by the end, I was like, okay, cool, all right.
Yeah, the only reason it's not on my list is, I think it's actually a good movie. I do.
Yeah.
I think it's because I loved Unbreakable so much.
Yeah, I love Unbreakable so much more than that.
It kind of. Yeah, that's my Bruce Willis M. Night Shyamalan movie.
It's not on my list. It definitely got me the first time. I didn't know the twist.
Oh, I didn't either.
And I thought it was really impressive. And again, because I didn't like horror movies when I was younger, it scared the poop out of me. Especially, oh man, the ghost that comes down the hallway, the shot the back of his head off. Oh, scarred me for a
the
week.
little kid.
Like honestly, I could not sleep. That one messed me up.
I almost don't remember anything visually.
Oh God! What?
I know it's weird.
Misha Barton's under the thing throwing up. Oh gosh, that movie is scary.
All I remember is him sitting like under the table, like saying some line. Then that scene where he's talking to his mom and she's reacting in a way that makes me say, "I don't think he's in the same room with her."
Oh man, that movie is scarier to me than most horror movies. Anyway,
I should just watch it
again.
But
the reason why it's not on my list is because I feel like M. Night Shyamalan gets at least in the first 4 movies that he made, he got better and better at writing good characters, characters that I would attach to. And the truth is that The Sixth Sense ends up just being about a twist. The Sixth Sense, there are characters there, but I'm not as attached to them as I should be, and I don't revisit that movie because I really like those people. That movie to me is a lot about the style and about the storytelling, and not as much about the characters and the story itself. So that's why it's not on my list, because it doesn't stick with me. But what else is on your list?
I had The Mummy on there. It was a fun movie. Actually, like Returns better, but
what? You did not just say that.
I did just say that, James. You have to deal with it.
But that movie's got a horrible CG.
Accept it.
Half rock, half scorpion. And that weird there's
that
a
weird
bunch of
mummies
flashback
chasing down a double-decker bus in the sequel. I don't go crying about it. there's lame CGI throughout the whole series.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
but I think my biggest problem with the sequel is the whole subplot where Rachel Weisz is the spiritual descendant of some Egyptian woman.
Yeah,
that whole subplot is just weak.
Maybe
I like Van Helsing.
What? So that's on there. Iron Giant, Sleepy Hollow. It's all right.
I forgot about Sleepy Hollow.
The 13th Floor, I thought was okay.
Yeah, it's
enjoyed it. It was at a time that year where there was not a lot of anything.
I think the 13th Warrior was the better 13th movie of that year.
With Antonio Banderas? Wow.
Oh, absolutely. I like the 13th Warrior.
Office Space and Fight Club were 2 movies that I was trying to figure out how to get on the list. And obviously I didn't succeed, but
I intentionally left Fight Club off my list. I think that movie is overrated.
Me too. I like it, but yeah.
That year I didn't see it because I like you guys say, I thought it was overrated. Like I was like, this doesn't look interesting, and I don't care, whatever. And then Cliff got me the DVD for my birthday, and then I shelved it for 4 years. It's like, I don't care about this movie. This is stupid. And then I ran out of movies to watch, so I popped it in, and I was like, this is actually pretty cool. It's what we were talking about earlier was is one of those movies where, you were saying, what was it? You and Joe were watching October Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, well, this is dumb. And then you actually watch it, that's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Fight Club.
It's a movie that, like, when I first saw it, I thought, this is brilliant. Like, this is really a great movie. And then every time I watch it after that, all of the rhetoric just becomes more trite. Everything that it wants to be about, it just seems juvenile. Like, I don't know what it is, but the sort of hardcore edgy points about, like, what society really is and all of that it just gets stupider every time that I watch it. It feels like, somebody who's trying to be really cool and then isn't. And at the same time, it's also the same thing as Sixth Sense, whereas, like, it's so much about the twist that then when I rewatch it, I'm just thinking about, like, oh yeah, and there's this twist at the end. Like, I'm not connecting as well.
And a guy's dick.
Wait, there's a guy's dick in that movie?
Yeah, it's cut at the end, remember?
It's one frame.
It's one frame. They
Stuffed in there.
talk about it on the airplane, and then it's...
Yeah, I get you. Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's not the twist you're talking about?
No, I'm not. He was Brad Pitt the whole time.
Great actors, though.
Oh, absolutely. No. Great director.
In Office Space, like I said, I appreciate it a lot more now.
Yeah.
Back, when I saw it, I was like...
There are a lot of
over my
comedies
head.
on your list, You can't all go.
And Jennifer Aniston's in it. She's hot.
Yeah.
Analyze This, speaking of comedies. Big Daddy was pretty fun that year.
It was.
I'm surprised no one put a Spy Who Shagged Me on their list.
I haven't watched those in a while, and I keep on meaning to because I actually do like the Austin Powers movies.
Yeah.
Except for Goldmember.
Especially the first one.
See, actually, I think Goldmember is pretty funny because it's... There's a couple lines. I love Steven Spielberg in Goldmember, and I love Michael Caine when he says, there's two things I can't stand in this world, an intolerance for other people's culture and the Dutch. It's like one of the best lines in any comedy ever.
Yeah.
Man. I'd say this all the time, but I love lines like that where they play them straight and you have to be really paying attention to how funny it is.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate comedy like that. And yeah.
1989 is The Spy Who Shagged Me, though, right?
That's what I said, right?
Yeah, no, I want to make sure. Yeah, that's why it wasn't
Introduction
on
of Fat Bastard and...
Yeah. The first one is still the best one to me, and the sequels are more, but not special.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not there.
Yeah, I love the first one had, the great, I love the Seth Green with Dr. Evil, like daddy issue parts, and then those are always funny. But I'll have to watch them again. I really don't remember The Spy Who Shagged Me. I do love the Elvis Costello and Burt Bacharach song in it, though.
Brett, are you a big fan of 8mm?
Oh, I hated that.
Me too. And 10 Things I Hate About You is the last movie on my list that was.
That one's all right.
That's a good movie. I could see.
I'm trying to remember if I felt like when I watched it, I was like, "This exists in real life? Like people do this for real? This is ugh.
Oh yeah,
gross."
What I always remember about that movie, 10 Things I Hate About You, and there's also a movie called Go. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie.
I haven't yet, but it was from 1999.
Me and Brandon, Brandon always hang out with. You remember? I don't know if you remember Richard Bear from high school, but he always wanted to see those kind of movies, and I fucking hated those movies. And I'd always, I wanted to hang out with Brandon, so I'd go see him, and I didn't mind. Actually, I don't mind 10 Things I Hate About You, but like Go and stuff.
It's got Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it.
Yep. But other than that,
it's good.
I could poop in my hand and make a better movie than Go.
Go.
And 10 Things I Hate. I like 10 Things I Hate, but it's all right.
Yeah. Shakespeare.
Shakespeare. Or was it Shakespeare?
Well, it's not really Shakespeare. It's plotting by Shakespeare.
Just kidding, because Anonymous came out this year.
Oh, right. I forgot.
Anyways, is that it, Brad?
Yeah, do you guys have anything? I mean, I can
No.
talk about this other anime, Perfect Blue, which I liked, but
Nope.
I think
I've never even heard of that, so don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded.
Comedies. Analyze This, anybody?
Analyze This was really good.
Yeah.
But
See, I really
the sequel was,
it's a movie that doesn't stand up to me as well as the other comedies that we listed.
And it's another one of those things where, I was talking about the October Sky poster. That poster drove me nuts, too, whereas, Robert De Niro being like, what about me? And then Billy Crystal, like, out of focus in the background. Was
Yeah.
But Harold Ramis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I like him.
Yep.
He's really funny as Seth Rogen's dad. And
You guys haven't mentioned a lot of your other choices. Do you not have any?
Oh no, that's. I mean, you hit them all.
Sure, I did. I listed a bunch of them.
I said Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
Sweet. So hey, that was fun. You can like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can email us, realnerds@gmail.com. You can read our awesome blog. Hey, by the way, I love the new banners you've been putting on the.
Thank you.
The podcast part.
I
like
did
the
it.
Ghost Rider one looked really cool.
I did it to give people who are just quick browsers. Don't like to read.
Way
a
to
whole
catch
lot.
their eye. It catches your eye every time.
If you're not reading like
they know
February
immediately
12th,
what movie we're seeing.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, so I liked that. So yeah, follow us, realnerds.tumblr.com.
I gotta make a Wanderlust one next week.
It's all right. You just
that's
do
what we're
Jennifer Aniston, dude. Fuck. There's a great thing of... anyways. Which one am I forgetting? Oh, this is...
Tumblr? Did you say?
I did say Tumblr.
Did you say Twitter?
The Gmail.
Facebook?
I said Facebook.
Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter, real_nerds. And you can find out Brad goes and sees a lot of independent movies. That's a good place to check out what Brad's up to.
Right.
I kind of put up what I'm watching at home. Brad actually goes out and sees like things like Father's Day, which we'll talk about on Friday.
Oh, stay tuned for that.
Stay
it's
tuned.
Gonna be fun.
This has been a Nebulous Visions production. And hey, if there's a year you want to see us talk about, please send your ideas. I will post a question on Facebook and Twitter, and then you can just tweet or Facebook post what year you want us to talk about. And if you say 1950, we're not going to know anything. So keep it like in the 90s and 2000s.
1980s probably
80s.
the cutoff point.
Yeah. 80s to the 2000s.
Maybe 77 because then we get Star Wars in there.
And Jaws, 75. Right?
Okay, we'll just make
We
70.
could
70
yeah,
the
if it's
cutoff point.
if it's before 1980, it should just be decades.
But they might be top 5 lists at that point.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, we'll put that question up. So I'm Ryan. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Hey guys, the portal's about to close. Quick, jump in it. Get back to our time.
Are we going 88 miles an hour, or are we just going to go?
Oh, I don't have a DeLorean, so I don't know how it works.
I guess it's just a portal. So
we don't need a
jump.
DeLorean.
Yeah.
I have this telephone booth here.
Oh, nice.
Sweet, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Don't worry, I know there's 3 of us, but there's plenty of room on the inside.
Wow, look at us, Bill and Ted and Back to the Future.
No. This was Doctor Who.
Oh, you're doing Doctor Who. They also,
Bill and Ted ripped off Doctor Who.
Of course they did.
Wow.
How did you not know that?
Bye.